Hello, everybody. Welcome to another appointment with Going Expat. This is Rosella, and today my guest is Rawia. Hi, Rawia. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here and happy to dive into your story as an expat in the Netherlands as well as a business owner. So, as people know already, for the previous episodes, we are talking a little bit about the experience of my guest in the country and
Mhm.
also about, what's your job, what you do, and how did it happen that you decided to start a business in the Netherlands. So, without further hesitation, Rawia, tell us about you. Where are you from? Where do you live? And for how long have you been in the Netherlands?
Where am I from? That's an interesting question. I have a British nationality. However, originally I'm a mix of Lebanese on my dad's side and Ghanaian on my mother's side. So I bring these two cultures with me. And I live in The Hague in the Netherlands. And I've relocated to the Netherlands twice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Once in 1993, and the second time is in 2001. And this is the second time. So I've been here since 2001.
It's long time.
I'm
Okay.
almost Dutch.
You're almost Dutch, indeed. You should get one more nationality and
Yes,
and add it to your passport collection.
yes,
Okay. Well, it's such a nice mix of cultures, and I guess also quite different among each other. So we might dive into that a little bit later.
yes.
But why the Netherlands? How come you moved, if you like to share?
Yeah, I actually moved like many people I've come across because of my ex-partner's work at the time.
Okay.
I was offered an international sort of posting.
Mm-hmm.
The training started in the Netherlands, and I
Okay.
was working at the time as a pharmacist,
Mm.
a hospital pharmacist in the UK. That's where I actually qualified in the UK, and I was working as a pharmacist in the UK. And I naively thought that as a pharmacist, I could just easily work anywhere. So I thought, yeah,
Okay.
exciting to experience the world, live elsewhere, and I can easily work, with.
Mm.
And when I came here, I realized it's not as easy as I thought. The
Not.
language was an obstacle. Also, like the education, because I thought having qualified in Britain, it's the EU, that of course my degree would be accepted here. But no, I had to
Yeah.
equate and do all kinds of administrative and bureaucratic stuff to get my degree acknowledged here first before
Yeah.
I could work. So
Okay.
yeah, I sort of discovered that it's not as easy as I thought.
It's not, and actually, you are mentioning something that is super important when people want to move to the Netherlands, but to any other country. Do your
Yeah,
homework first. Figure out
absolutely.
what kind of job you can actually have based on your experience,
Yeah,
but also your studying, language knowledge, because sometimes there are some obstacles we didn't consider, and
yeah,
nowadays it's easy to
yeah.
find this information online. Maybe in
Yes.
1993 wasn't that
Was
easy
it?
as
There
today.
were there were no companies like yours in 1993.
So, okay, then you came to the Netherlands by accident almost, let's say, but you decided to stay, come back actually. So, and
Yeah,
yeah, I had similar experience in the sense.
yeah.
Was it, despite the job, was it easy to move for you, or it was a difficult process that you had to go through?
I think the first time we touched upon already a little bit, it was difficult, because I didn't know all these things. But at the same time, it was interesting. I remember that when I arrived, I discovered that I was pregnant.
Oh,
So,
surprise!
so I thought, oh, okay. And then what I did while I was getting my papers and my qualifications sort of accredited, I volunteered to work in an association that supplies pharmaceuticals to all the hospitals in The Hague.
Mm.
And I also got onto a language course.
Okay. Yes.
So that kept me busy and it was fun. But by the end of 10 months of us being there, we were relocated to Scotland. So I did
Oh,
all this work and then I, oops,
yes.
went to another country. And then when we came back in 2001. again,
Mm-hmm.
because his work. But when I came back, I was a mother then
Mm-hmm.
to two children, so the experience was very different.
Of course.
By that stage, we had internet. There was just the start of companies like yours that are
Mm-hmm.
looking at families and supporting the spouses that are not working with how to
Yeah.
send their information about schools, that sort of thing. It was just starting. Now it's more well established.
Yes.
It was just starting. So the experience second time around was very different.
Okay. It was easier also because you were kind of prepared of what you needed.
Second time, of course, my qualifications were recognized, so I could
Yes.
really say, okay, I want to work, let's look for work.
Yes.
Child were more thinking of the children, settling them in schools, that sort of thing.
Yes. That
Uh,
was different from because yeah, you came also as a mother. Interesting. And then something happened because you say your background is in pharmaceutical, and then you were looking for a job in the sense you got all your studies
yeah,
accepted, etc., etc. But today you're not working as in a
no,
pharmacy. That's
no.
completely different world, or maybe it's not completely, but just what's your job? Tell us about that.
So now I work as a coach and counselor. I'm a freelancer. I work for myself, and my company name is called Recipes for Change. And yes, you're right, Rosella, there's a story to that because in the time I've been away and traveling around the world and facing challenges, raising kids, I sort of hit rock bottom at some point, emotionally and
Mm-hmm.
mentally. And I sought help of a coach and then counselor and then therapy. And I realized the benefits of that. And that's when like the idea to study these disciplines came into my mind. But
Okay.
when I came back the second time to the Netherlands, I thought, yeah, I do want to retrain and learn more about coaching and counseling. But when you want to get back into the job market, it's easier to get back into what you used to know.
Of course.
I still looked for work as a pharmacist first, and I thought I'll find a way to transition from that into what I want to do. So I
Absolutely.
found
Yeah.
part-time work in the Hague International Health Center.
Mm-hmm.
And while working there, I was working on how to move into coaching
Yeah.
and counseling.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's a great transition. And I mean, you kind of planned it in a way. You were also very smart in what you just said. First move is do what you know you can do. You are already able to, you have some experience, and then figure out the transition. If you had this opportunity, it
Yeah,
makes it a little bit less crazy, the experience,
yeah,
but also it gives you time to don't worry about how to get at the end of the month, from a
yeah,
financial point of view, and you
yeah,
can build your own company or yeah, your branding with a little bit more ease in
yeah.
that sense. Okay, how we can find you and who is your client, ideal clients? Who are you talking to mainly?
So I do have a website, recipes for change number four for change.com.
The link will be in the description of the video
Yeah.
so everybody can click and have a look together with your LinkedIn account so people can get in touch with you anyway.
Thanks, Rosella. And I'm also on LinkedIn. I do have an Instagram account, a Facebook account. I had to learn all the stuff,
Yes.
how to do all that. And my clients, that's also an interesting one because as I grew and changed and developed, I felt that my audience also changed with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, I thought that the clients that I attract will be women like me who followed their partner,
Yeah.
and maybe left their own work. They're sort of not working, trying to get back to the working market, maybe lost their sort of identity.
Mm.
I was getting actually women who were working and coming to me with challenges at work.
Okay.
So that was interesting to have that. And then as I sort of did more therapy and qualified to become a counselor, I delved more into my sense of identity, my sense of not belonging, and the multicultural aspect of my life. And
Ugh.
and then I ended up also getting clients who came from these backgrounds,
Yes.
mixed
Yes.
backgrounds, they were half this, half that, feeling
Yeah.
not belonging here, not belonging there, wanting to figure it out in their head. So
Yeah.
it was interesting to have that. And I get a variety of ages, like
Mm-hmm.
25 to 65.
Okay. And mainly women.
Yes, mainly, but I do have men, but the majority of the clients are women, but I've also worked with men.
Okay, yeah, I guess that the relation is a little bit different, of course, and but yeah, I really like also this aspect that you figure out you could help with because yeah, probably you have been through the same, no? Am I half this, half that, or I am in whole, and this whole is made of so many different
Exactly.
cultural aspects. I guess it's I don't know. I'm Italian and all my family is Italian, so I never had to deal with that
Yeah,
sense of belonging in a way,
yeah,
not based on my cultural aspect. Now, living in the Netherlands for a while is like, okay, where do I belong exactly?
yes,
It's kind of blurred, but that's a question for another time. But I guess it's very important in nowadays world where people are much more have much more opportunity to basically mix and match in a way. So there are more families that are yeah created by people from different cultures than the
yes.
kids
And there are more
are.
mixed marriages as well now. So you do have, like, if you
Yeah.
like, say you're Italian, you've come to the Netherlands, you might meet a Dutch person. So
Yes.
create a family.
Exactly.
Dutch culture, the Italian culture. So your kids, if you haven't faced it, your kids might face the same.
Yes, your kids will face it, and maybe you as a mother, as a father, are also
Yeah.
wondering like, oh, how can I manage the education, the cultural education on my kid? Maybe being from different part of the world and living in a third one. So there is so much that is going on there that is very related to the immigration to a country or emigration to a country. So that
Yeah.
from a country. So yeah, that's very, very interesting. Cool. And how do you feel towards the Netherlands? So you went, you came, you left, you came back. What do you like of this country and what do you like the least?
What do I like about the Netherlands? I really love the bike culture. As I'm doing this chat with you, I can see the bikes coming along.
Yes.
I really love the bike culture, I love that, no matter your age, you can hop on the bike, get everywhere. It's so easy, it's so safe, it's so like structured. So that's
Yeah.
something I really loved. And I remember when I first arrived being very, very nervous about
Mm.
going on the bike because for me it was more like for fun, not like actually navigating and getting.
Yes.
But now, most of the time, if I can bike, I bike. So that's
Great.
something I really loved. What else did I love? I loved also their quality of life. Like,
Mm.
I remember that the Netherlands was the first place where I came. I went to the bakery and I saw a sign saying closed for vacation. And I thought, what? Shut down and
Vacations?
they just go on holiday? Where do we get our bread? I'm
Yeah.
thinking how nice that they can shut their business and go and have a rest
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
It was the first time I experienced that. In Lebanon, nobody shuts their business. In the UK, it's always open.
Okay,
Then I
interesting.
experienced this thing of like, yes, we close and we have time off. Or like
Yeah.
when it's a child's birthday, like my boss would say, I'm not coming to work. It's my daughter's birthday. I thought,
Okay.
wonderful. They
Wow, yes,
to
yeah.
honor,
Yeah,
to honor
work-life balance is a big thing here
yes.
indeed.
Something that I least liked.
Yeah. And
I
I like the
think,
fact that when I talk to people who have been living here for a long time,
yes,
actually it's a little bit more difficult to
yes,
find something that they like the least. Because
you adjust
yes,
and adapt.
yes, by the time you adapt, you also understand the culture, so you understand why those things
Yes,
are done that way. So it's
yes,
not anymore about, oh, I don't really like it. It's just like
yeah,
I had to adapt. So maybe
yeah,
the question to ask would be better, what was the thing that you really had to
yeah,
adapt when you moved here?
yes. I think the one story that I remember is it has to do with spontaneity. So
Mm,
I come from a culture where, let's have a party this weekend. Come on, are you free? Come, let's have a good time.
yes.
Did that. I remember, saying to my colleagues, okay, what are you doing? Come this weekend, we're gonna have a jam session, play some music, have fun. And like my Dutch colleagues looked, what? This weekend? Normally they need 6 month notice, and I
Taking
thought,
the agenda
what?
and checking when.
And that really surprised. I thought, my God, 6 months. I'm in the mood this weekend. I don't know what I'll feel like in 6 months. So that
Yeah.
meant I had to adjust because I really am somebody who's spontaneous. I don't even book my holidays way in advance. I know you're going to
Hmm.
get a deal, but I think I don't know what which country I feel like going to.
Yes.
Let me wait and use the time. So that's spontaneity, I think.
Yes, I guess that this is something that as Southern people, we
Yes,
kind of all experience here. You already kind of said it a little bit, but I would like to dive in the language
yeah,
ability, no? So you say, okay, when I came, I thought I could find a job immediately,
yeah,
but then the language barrier came. So when you came here, you probably didn't speak Dutch as yeah, mainly people don't speak Dutch when they move here. And I believe you learned Dutch in all these years, so you speak the language now.
yes,
How do you think that helped professionally, but also like from a social point of view, to speak the local language? And I'm asking this question because it's so common to hear, oh, you live in the Netherlands, you don't need to speak Dutch. I
yes.
am totally against this, but I want to hear from you and from your experience.
Right. We are lucky to live in a country where people really are flexible and speak so many other languages. And yes, indeed, you could live a long life and not have the need to learn the language. But like you, I believe it's very helpful to learn the language, you know. It helps with integration. It helps you understand the culture more, the humor, the character of the country, you know.
Yes.
So I find that yes, something is removed, an obstacle is removed, a boundary is removed when you speak the language. And what
Mm-hmm.
struck me the most when my mother was sick, was diagnosed with cancer, and she came to live with me. And then we had to do a lot of hospital appointments and going here and going there. It was so helpful to be able to speak the language. People will speak English, but still, suddenly I feel a barrier was removed. They were more helpful, more open to supporting me and complimenting me on the fact that I was speaking Dutch. And I felt more supported, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I
Reading
agree. I agree.
signs, understanding a joke, an advert in the street. You miss a lot if you don't understand the language, you know?
Yeah. I
Something
agree.
opens up for you. So I
Yes.
do definitely advise people to have some basic knowledge of the language,
Mm.
whichever country you go to and decide to live.
Yes, I guess it's a general thing. The difference is that in many countries, basically, if you don't speak the language, you cannot have a long-term life there.
Mm.
Because, like Italy, for example, for instance, you cannot find a job if you don't speak Italian. So it would be like hell to do anything because the language is mandatory in this sense. While in the Netherlands, with the fact that basically almost everybody
Yeah,
speaks English to a good level,
yeah,
there is this feeling that you don't need to speak the Dutch language at all.
yeah,
While indeed, as you say, if it's a long-term plan that you have,
yeah,
realizing how culture and language are linked,
yeah,
it's very important. And the only way to integrate is speaking at least a little bit of the language. And on your example, which unfortunately is connected to a, yeah, not
yeah,
very nice story, but
yeah.
I get that people also feel more useful if they can explain things to you in their own language where they are used to
Yeah.
speak.
For example, when I worked as a pharmacist at the International Health Center, they did employ me knowing I didn't speak Dutch. And they said it's not a problem because we're catering for the international community.
Yeah.
However, when we did start, some clients would come and they were shocked, like, oh, nobody could speak Dutch to them, and they were Dutch, you know? So
Yes,
with time, they realized, okay, yes, they are catering for the international community, but they do have a lot of Dutch clients, and perhaps it would be helpful to pick up
indeed.
Dutch, you know? So,
Indeed.
so yeah, I remember learning a bit, and the program that we followed on the computer was all in Dutch, you know? So you needed some base.
Yeah. So you needed to. Okay.
Yeah.
After all this year and with all your experience, but also your career experience and talking to so many different people who probably also moved, what would be today your tip, your suggestion to the people that are listening to us and they just move or they are considering moving to the Netherlands?
Yeah. I would say to keep an open mind. To keep an open mind. not to take things personally and have the perspective that there could be other reasons to someone's behavior or whatever they do or say. Um, and to be curious, to stay curious. I think for me, curiosity really helped when something happens.
Yes.
I wonder why this happens or what could it be? And that exploration of what's behind this, always what I found helpful,
Yeah.
and to
Yes.
give yourself time. I think it takes a minimum of a year before
Mm.
things start to look hopeful and happy and positive. So not
Yes.
to give up too soon and say, I can't be doing this here, to give yourself at least a year. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. So stay curious and be kind to yourself, best.
and you have to also build your community. So
Also,
that's another
indeed.
thing that the language helps, gets you
Yes.
to friends, to be out, to join clubs, go to the gym, to hobbies, and then
Yes.
you build community because community is essential to being happy in a place.
Yes, I totally agree. There is really nothing to add to that. You said it all and perfectly. So as I said earlier, all your contacts are in the, or at least the main ones, the website and your LinkedIn account are in the description of this video. So people can check it out to see exactly what is about your business. And if they need some help, support, they can get in contact with you directly. And I really thank you for being here. It was very nice to talk to you, and I talk to you soon.
Thank you
Bye.
for your time, Rosella. Bye.